So now we're going to have a tribute to Dr. Williams. And the provost, Ashwani, could not be here today because he had an emergency. So Professor Eason will go ahead and start with the tribute. And then we're happy to have one of Dr. Williams's children, Derek Williams, who will give a tribute after Professor Eason.
Thank you, Jamila. And thank you all for being here today. And my remarks are short, so you can probably start working your way down this way, Derek. Thank you. And thank you for being here. We're so happy to have one of his family members here. As you may know, Jerome D. Williams was a distinguished marketing professor who held a Prudential Chair in Business and formerly served as provost of Rutgers University, Newark. Unfortunately, we lost him in January of this year. He was integral in helping put this seminar together. Williams was a scholar, mentor, and sage, and was remembered by his colleagues for a combination of intelligence, leadership, and kindness, I might add. He was both respected and beloved across Rutgers faculty, staff, and everyone he came in contact with. In addition to teaching and research, Williams served in many leadership positions at the American Marketing Association. He was serving as an associate editor of the Journal of Public Policy and Marketing at the time of his passing. He earned his PhD from the University of Colorado Boulder in 1986 and was dedicated to supporting Black professionals and Black students who had ambitions of entering academia. He was instrumental in the success of the PhD project, which he helped to start in 1993. He was named to the PhD Hall of Fame. Growing up in segregated Pennsylvania community inspired his career in which he championed equity and inclusion. The impact of his research on multicultural marketing and marketplace discrimination, as well as his years of service, led to his recent selection as an AMA Fellow. He was to be inducted formally during the AMA Winter Academic Conference just this year. He spoke with Susan Todd recently before his passing, and he reflected on what led him into the field of marketing, the impact of his research on discriminatory banking, and his work with the PhD project, which transcended the field of marketing, influencing the diversity of business school faculty across the country. We are really saddened to lose him, and as Dean Lay said, his shoes can't be filled, basically, but we can honor him and be a tribute to his legacy and everything that he inspired us to achieve. And with that, I'd like to bring on his son, Derek, and we're very happy to have you here. The video first. There's a video first, is that right? Okie doke, thank you.
No matter what happens, I just want to know it's been a wonderful journey for us. I've already mentioned that, and it's so important to me, family. I think one of the reasons we're all here is because of my appreciation for family. I just wanted to thank everybody for coming together, and this has just been a wonderful week for us. And I just want to thank everyone for making it special.
Look at the viewer, and if it gives that negative message as an advertiser, then I would say that would not be an effective ad. But that's the critical thing. Testing it among the people that are going to perceive it, and if it gives that impression, then you don't use it. That's
I'll say to everyone here, my family, my friends, my colleagues, It's been a great ride. So indulge me a little bit. I'd like to make this less of a celebration about me and more of a celebration through my slides about family members and colleagues and friends that I've known over the years. I'm going to be the most productive person at the University of Colorado in the PhD program. And when I graduated, I was the most productive PhD student ever. Here I am in the first year of my PhD program. Here I am in the second year of my PhD program. Here I am in the third year of my PhD program, the fourth year of my PhD program, and the fifth year of my PhD program. And finally, they pulled me aside and says, hey, look, you've got to produce some articles. You've got to do some scholarship. I said, oh, that's where in 1957, they hired the first black school teacher. And I was fortunate enough to be in that class. And there I am in the second row from the bottom with my bow tie. And that made a deep impression upon me. And that was really the first time that I really thought about being an educator and making an impact on my children. Indulge me while I brag a little bit. Not only my boys, but also my daughter. And I always tell people when I graduated from the University of Colorado, I had 2 dissertations. I had the one that's published, but after my daughter was born, you know the names of my children, Janine, Derek, Daniel, Dante. So when we were in the hospital, my wife said, look, you name our daughter. Well, I named her the first thing that came to my mind, dissertation. Well, I learned a couple of things. One, you can change the name of children before they leave the hospital. And 2, you know, women who just had babies don't have no sense of humor. Learning exploits, and also the work that I had done on obesity, this book that we published, Food Marketing to Children and Youth. But one of my sons was not very impressed with as I said, I have a hard time getting respect even from my kids sometimes. So he sent the picture back to me and said, the article should have been about obesity and old men in advertising. Look at the beer gut. Now I know where mine comes from. Well, you never do battle with somebody who has access to Photoshop. So I wrote him back and said, well, that's an old picture. Your mom and I have been really working out, and here's what I look like now. 6 F's, faith, family, friends, fun, fortune, and fame. And I really think that the top ones, faith, family, and friends, are really the things that really drive the other things. So, so it's been a great ride, just like we were 43 years ago, my wife and I. And in conclusion, I'd just like to say it's not over with yet. We're ready to ride again. Thank you, and it's been fun talking with you. Thank you.
Thank you. And on behalf of our family, Jerome's wife, Lillian, the kids, Deneen, myself, Derek, Dan, Dante, Daisha, we are again appreciative and honored that Rutgers Business School annual seminar will now be called the Jerome D. Williams Marketing Seminar. You heard in the video of him talking about his 5 F's, faith, family, fun, friends, fortune, and fame. And I incorporate that in my life too, especially the fun and family. When I got the email 2 days ago from Professor Eason, it was 11:30 a.m. asking us if we could come down, and no lie, by 11:40, 10 minutes later, I took off work, got a rental car, and made plans to come up here without thinking twice about it, to be with my Rutgers family. Because if anyone out there thought enough to honor Jerome, my dad, there's no way I would miss another opportunity to be proud of his accomplishments. And while for most of us, we haven't really met until today, if you work with Jerome, you no doubt heard about me. I'm the one he was always bragging about. And obviously I didn't get his sense of humor. He didn't pass that down to me since someone laughed at that joke, but that's all right. And I look at the program that was going on today. I just felt the need to tell one quick story. I see in the afternoon we have someone from He-Man. And as a kid, I loved He-Man, collecting them all, Skeletor, Man-at-Arms, Castle Grayskull. So one day, I was in sixth grade when they came out. I went to school bragging about my He-Man toys, like, yeah, these are so cool. And all the kids made fun of me because apparently in 6th grade, you can't be playing with He-Man toys. So I told my dad what happened about it. And he just said, if the action figures make you happy and you're not hurting anyone, just keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing what you love, including playing with toys. And that's what I kept doing. Those lines have stayed with me even now, about 40 years later. And as a teacher myself, I say the same thing to my students. Just do what you do what you love, as long as you're not hurting anyone. And I encourage all of us to honor Jerome in that way. Keep having fun and do what you love. So once again, thanks for this honor from my dad. My family wanted me to reiterate how thankful we are that his name will be living on at this conference. I will see you all next year if I'm invited back with the bad jokes.